today who's dealing with some very, very heavy problems, who could probably be helped by knowing that you went through that very same thing. But you know, we are so prone to not want other folks to know our business. In fact, there are folk in the audiences, and I can sense it sometimes when I'm talking, who just kind of draw up when I talk about sleepless nights. You know, I used to talk about that, lonely nights. And I'm like, well, you know, what's she doing lonely at night? Or if you talk about, you know how folks are.
All right.
That doesn't bother me. I've had some lonely nights. I've had some marital problems. I've sat in my living room with candles lit when my electricity was off. That doesn't bother me. If you know that. I've had problems with my kids. All of this. I've had it all. But today I ride up on a higher plane than I have ever found. Because I know what God can do for you in the midst of trials. And when you trust Him in the small things, He's there when the big things come along. I want to share a little thing with you. Just recently, I decided I wanted to go to college. Now, you see this gray. I didn't put this in here. Some folks spray a little in, you know, highlight they call it. No, this is old light. This is okay. But I decided I wanted to go to college, and I talked to the Lord about it. I said, "Now, Lord, when I look at what you have been able to do for me with the little that I have given you, if there are avenues through which I can enhance this talent and this gift that you've given me, I want to take advantage of that. I want to do that." You know, and my kids, I said, well, why? I tell my kids I want to go to college. What are they going to say? All of them got degrees, and they've got high-paid jobs, and, you know, all this. And here I am, wanting to go to college at this age. But I said, I'm going to go. Then I got to thinking, well, how are you going to go to college? You ain't even got no high school degree. You got no high school diploma. Then I thought, well, I'll get that first. First things first. So I discovered you could take a test called a GED test. GED test? How many of you know about that?
All right.
I said, okay, Lord, I'm going to take that test. Now, it's been some 40 years since I cracked a book to even look in it at algebra and geometry and that sort of thing, you know. But I stepped out in faith, and I said, Lord, I'm going to do this thing. And I claimed the victory from the get-go.
All right.
You know? And they told me, well, you have to go to school. It's going to take 6 months. You got to go 2 nights a week for 6 months to prepare to take this test. And after I got into it, I saw why, because it was a doozy. But anyway, I said, Lord, you know, this is the way I make my living. I got to travel. When they say come and sing, I got to go, because I need that money to make that mortgage payment and to keep lighting those candles in my living room. So I went to the library and I got that book. It's a great big thick book. I like that. GED test. Everything you need to know to pass the GED test. The dreaded GED test. I got in that book, and I feel like God is leading me in the direction I'm going, because I was excited. I got into it that first time. I couldn't put it down. When I knew anything, it was getting light. It was dawning, and I had studied all night. And I studied night after night after night after night. And it took my mind back to when I was in high school. That was a long time ago. But anyway, to make a long story short, it took me about a month, I guess, a little more than a month to go through that book. All of it, social studies and science and geometry and the whole bit, reading skills, writing skills, the whole bit. I went through all of that. And 2 days before I was to go to California to do a series of concerts, I took that test. And when I went into that room, and here were young people, and there were some older people there too, but we took that test, and I said to the Lord, I passed this test. I know I have.
All right.
I'm not even worried about it. And when I come back, I'm going to select my courses that I want to take at college. And I got on the plane, and I went to did my first concert. And I didn't know when they were going to send me the results of the test. It took a couple of weeks, maybe 3, I don't know. I did my first concert, and I did my second one. I was just lounging around there in the home of my son who lives in Riverside. And on Sunday afternoon, my daughter called me. She said, "Mommy, you passed that test." I claimed it. Do you know that the blessing is already yours? The blessing is yours. I mean, and this was a small thing. You know, one of my daughters said, she said to one of her co-workers, "My mother passed that GED test." And she said that worker looked at her and just say, "And so?" But it thrills me that my children are excited about it. They bought me a brand new leather briefcase to carry the child with me. I shopped for sweaters and skirts and, you know, I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going the whole route. But what I want you to know tonight is that if you claim it, don't doubt it. I did my part, and I told God that. I said, you know, I got the book, and I studied. I spent all night on. I've done my part. The rest is on you. It's on you. And with all those questions that I didn't know, when I said eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I know you put my finger on the right one. Yours. There's some of you out there who are dealing with some serious things. I'm probably laughing again tonight, but some of us are dealing with some heavy things, some things we don't know what to do about. But claim the blessing and ask God for anything, and believe that He'll give it to you. And you know what? If He doesn't give it to you, you haven't spent no time worrying about it. If nothing else, that's a blessing. But the blessing is already mine. It's a deeper valley than I've ever faced before. Darker day and the road is so hard to find. But with every hard trial, there's always been a blessing from the Lord, and I just know He's not going to let me down this time. It's mine, the blessing is all